This is Ben, Liam and Belle on Nova.
G'day there, podcaster.
Yeah, nursing a few hangovers in today's episode. Oh, who are we?
That's
crazy.
just you.
Okay, well, yeah, fair enough. Well, like we were at an event last night. You guys left early, and I thought
I left early. I left at 10 o'clock at night.
early for me because I'm crazy. I'm a party animal. No, I didn't party that hard, but I do feel a bit gross this morning.
Yes, somebody else gets the fart sound effect.
No, Belle, that was you. don't try and blame me. Anyway,
You literally said before, Liam, I think we're going to be sick.
I literally feel like I'm going to vomit, but I think my energy was at a pretty high bar for a show where I didn't feel great. It was a fun one today.
It was a fun show.
So enjoy. Footy is back. And I'm loving it because I'm a footy guy now, Ben and Belle. I'm a Carlton supporter. I haven't seen the Blue Baggies this season yet. I've seen the Dogs play, Melbourne play. I've seen Collingwood and Port play. So I've spent the last few weekends at the MCG just trying to soak up the vibe. And I was out there on the weekend, and at halftime they have the little nab
Oz
kickers.
kickers.
Yeah, the
Nab kickers.
What are they called? The nab.
Oz kick.
Oz kick.
They got nab on their
It's
Guernsey.
sponsored by Nab, but it's Oz kick.
They're the Oz nab kickers.
Well, they've got you. That's their advertising.
Well, I know.
clearly
I'm
works.
actually with Commonwealth, but I changed over when I saw some of those kids playing.
Oh, just so cute.
But yeah, and it is nice seeing them when they because normally they sort of follow like a swarm of ants. They follow the ball. Like they haven't really learnt to spread out and play
It's a
positions
tiny
yet.
pitch.
Yeah.
They haven't grasped the concept of a zone.
No, everyone's just following the ball, and it's always cute because there's obviously like 10 games going on.
Yeah.
But when they score, like they act like the whole MCG's cheering
Yeah.
for them, and they celebrate. And I was thinking, like, what would happen, right, if those kids versed the players that were running
They'd get
out?
decimated.
No,
Yeah.
I know. Obviously, they would get decimated, Ben. But if we even the numbers up a bit, so instead of an entire footy team, just say you had 3 AFL players, like elite sportsmen, versus say 150 Oz kids.
So you're saying each player would equal 50 Oz kick kids.
So 50 kids could mark one player. However, they're all like 8. You know what I mean? Like they're like.
But surely the players wouldn't stand a chance in that scenario. If there's 150 Oz kickers,
It's like a small.
Yeah, but
it's a swarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as I was saying, they follow the ball, and as soon as they get a few bounces and just get a bit of pace, and they like bomb it long, like they're never going to be able to get a mark. They're never going to be able to mark. The only thing they'd have to worry about is not kicking a kid in the face when they're actually kicking.
I guess you could fight off 50 kids yourself if you just went ham.
Like I'm no Dustin Martin, but I could argue an 8-year-old easily. You know what I mean? I have enough strength.
But then
to
could
push
you
one
don't
off
argue 10 more after that, and then another 30 after that?
without someone going ball.
Yeah,
true.
Because once if you kind of trip on one kid and you slow down a bit, and then another kid gets onto your leg, and then if you go down,
it's like a pack
over.
of wolves.
Yeah, true. Well, either way, it's an interesting concept. And the conversation is not ending here. We've actually arranged this. So this is going to be happening later on today.
150 NAB Oz kickers
We'll be taking on 3 AFL legends who all played for St Kilda in their time. We're going to be doing it down at Moorabbin, and you're going to hear the results on tomorrow's show. We're joined now by one of the guys playing, AFL legend Tony Brown. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How do you think you'll go against the Little Tackers?
Well, 150 kids at RSEA Park BJ, Cozzy and I are quietly confident.
Yeah.
Can you promise me, Tony, though, because I don't want it to be a thing where you pretend that the kids are really good and they tackle you and they get the ball. I want you to dominate these kids, Tony. I want you to run rings around them.
We want McGarry medalist Tony Brown in full flight. If push comes to shove, Tony, are you willing to run through an 8-year-old boy?
Well, I'm a teacher by trade and was always taught to, keep your hands off the kids. But, tomorrow might be a different story.
I mean, white line fever. It's once a saint, always a saint. And when you guys get together, it's going to be electric. I'm honestly, obviously you would think 3 AFL players are going to pump 150 kids, right? But then again, it's like a swarm of ants. It's kind of like, how people say that, like, oh, would you have, elephant-sized ants or, you know what I mean?
Well, you've played over 100 games, and yes, this is going to be a little bit hectic. Do you have a game plan in place?
Well, yeah, BJ, Cozzy and I caught up briefly this morning. Ross went through our game plan. So we're, obviously starting the centre. And then, I think Cozzy will start. He'll tap it down to BJ and I'll receive it about 50-metre mark. So we'll see how we go.
I can't wait to see you just put the knee in between the shoulder blades of a little Oz kicker.
Big specky. Just a big specky.
Let's not get graphic, all right?
So, Tony, obviously you were sort of at the peak of your footy powers in the 90s. How are the hamstrings these days? How far do you think you could bomb it if you needed to?
Yeah, it's a good question. I actually do the running match day, so I have to keep a little bit fit. So I think my hammies are all right, but just my pace, I'm getting slower each week. So that's my only concern. I think, BJ, he's got a bit of a sore knee, but he's getting regular physio on that, and Cozzy, he's lost a lot of weight for this occasion, so we're really looking forward to it.
I mean, the good thing is, though, I guess if you're looking at the whiteboard and you're moving the magnets around, I guess it doesn't really matter who you match up on because you're going to have a size advantage.
Yeah, this is true.
Speed, and weight, and strength.
Probably skill. I mean, you're a fully grown man. You're an AFL legend.
But I think it's going to give these little Oz kickers a taste of what AFL footy
that's
takes.
it. It's a reality check. Tony Brown, there's a lot of Browns in the AFL. Jonathan Brown, Campbell Brown, Ben Brown, Luke Brown, Nathan Brown, Lee Brown, the other Nathan Brown.
A lot of Browns.
A lot of Browns. Where would you rank yourself all time of Browns?
Probably not with those guys. I was lucky to play 108 senior games. I played in the 97 grand final, and unfortunately the Crows beat us that day, so I'd be a fair way down the pecking order.
I mean, give yourself a bit of credit. I mean, I think you're easily top 5 Browns. There's also a lot of Tonys in the AFL. You've got Tony Lockett, Tony Modra, Tony Liberatore, Tony Shaw, Tony McGuinness. Where would you rank yourself on the Tonys?
Probably just behind Plugger.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, Tony Brown, thank you so much for getting involved with this idea. This is going to be awesome. We've got 3 Saints players, AFL legends, up against 150 Auskick kids. Who will win that game of footy? You'll have to stay tuned and find out tomorrow.
I cannot wait to see how this goes down. Also, if you want to see a real game of footy, make sure you check out St Kilda at their 150th anniversary game against the Dons this Saturday night. Get down there and support the team. Tony Brown, thank you so much for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
For holiday accommodation more comfy than your old trackies, jump on the What If app. With hotels, holiday rentals, holiday parks and more, find the perfect fit for holiday you.
Book your getaway on the What If app. What if it's Aussie for travel?
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
Good morning, Simone and Edith Vale. How was your evening last night?
It was good, thank you. How was yours?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't too bad. We went to Glamour on the Grid. We'll talk about that more next. It was at Albert Park ahead of the F1 Grand Prix this weekend. On which streaming service is the F1 show Drive to Survive, Simone?
Gotta go with Netflix.
It is. The big one. You watched it?
No.
It's actually good. Like, I don't like F1. But I do now. After watching that, I was like, oh my God, I so
think
get it.
That's definitely the feeling from everyone that's seen
Yeah,
it as
it's
well.
just a really, the drama of it all makes you like...
I haven't seen it. Is it less about the racing, more about the races?
Pretty much, and just like all the characters behind, because obviously such big money and there's backstabbing, and like, it's such a weird thing where it's like, you're on the team with another driver, but you also want to win. So it's like you're on the same team, but you're not. Like,
Is it like Gossip Girl with cars?
It's not like.
Is it like this radio show?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
am I right? A lot of
Are you saying there's
backstabbing.
backstabbing?
A lot
That
of
was the
backstabbing.
joke, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Simone liked it.
there's a lot of it's good stuff, Simone. Anyway, let's press on question 2. Personal e-scooters are now legal in Melbourne as long as you don't go with the max speed of 25 k's. All right. If you were travelling at 25 k's an hour, how long would it take you to travel 150 kilometres?
Oh, big maths question in the morning.
Oh,
It is a
goodness
bit.
me.
That's a big
No,
maths
it's
question.
just you want paper to work it out. You know what I mean?
150 divided by 25.
Oh, guys, hang on one sec.
You can add it up.
I should... 6 hours.
Very good. Very good. The Weather Bureau is predicting a warm and dry autumn ahead. What season is it right now in the northern hemisphere? Why are these questions
Why are these
so
questions
tricky?
so curly this
Oh my
morning?
God.
They're not.
Okay, hang on.
Don't overthink it.
Is it autumn?
No, it's not.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah,
but
but-
we liked it too.
Yeah,
We
I
loved
think
the
Liam and I
jokes.
both agree. That's a bit of a curly one.
Melanie, would you
Your
say
bar is so
would you
low.
say that the questions have been a bit curly for you this morning?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you should be able to
Ms.
tell us then
Confident.
what season it is right now in the Northern Hemisphere.
I hope this is right. Spring.
Very good.
We have a smarty pantaloon on the line. Joe Biden is red-faced after audio of him being coached on how to walk has been released online. Is Biden in his 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Oh, I think he's in his 70s.
Ooh.
Well, you can't win them all, can you? No.
She hung up.
Oh, furious.
So against Melanie. Sharon in Richmond, good morning. What
Good morning.
decade is Biden in? 70s, 80s, or 90s?
His 80s.
His 80s. Well, that's what they're going with. I think he's about 300 years old. But,
Yeah, he's
he
a
doesn't look
bit
like
like me.
he's in his 80s.
Oh, Sharon.
Last one. Hugh
Okay.
Grant has said he misses hooking up with co-stars. Am I right? Finish this quote.
And don't forget, I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him.
Sharon.
Ooh,
Sharon.
I've got no idea.
Yeah,
What,
know
you never
it?
seen Notting Hill?
Nope.
Who are you?
Oh, Sharon.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk right there. That's like the big bit at the end. You know?
Okay, Loretta from Shepparton, can you please finish this famous movie quote?
And don't forget, I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him.
For love.
It's close, but no.
It's like that's that is kind of what she's getting at. But
Yeah,
it's like that's not
yeah.
how she says it.
Let's
All right,
see
13 24 10. We've got some phone lines free. Call in if you know this one.
Let's see if Scottie in Port Melbourne can finish this movie quote.
And don't forget, I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him.
To love her.
Oh,
Hey!
Scotty! Yeah, you're a bit of a sweetheart like me, hey? A bit of a big softy. Yeah, no, I cry every time.
Yeah.
It is. Great movie. All right, Scotty, you're in the draw for Nova's First Class and 50K, so stay by your phone because you could get a call tomorrow from Ricky Lee, Tim and Joel.
You also get to choose the next song we play. So, do you want to hear Belle's selection this
A
morning?
little bit of Samantha Mumba.
Or would you like to hear from former Australian Idol contestant Axel Whitehead?
You can't look me in the eyes.
Oh, we got to go the old Axel.
Oh, Scotty.
Crank up the Axel!
Sorry, Sammy.
I'm feeling blind, like the sun's in my eyes. It's something you need to know.
Glamour on the grid. They're calling it Melbourne's new Brownlow. Well, for influencers anyway. And I think the paper just sort of put that in there.
It's a new Brownlow because 50% of the people that they invite are footy players.
Well,
'cause
this is
there's no one
true.
else.
And radio hosts, who are the ugliest people in the room.
And
Yeah.
influencers and models.
Look, it's pretty early in the morning. It's pre-7 a.m., so I can say this. What a wanky event. The whole thing was just full of wank.
I have never felt so short, fat, and ugly in my life because all the girls were tall, thin models. And then what they'd do is the photographers at the red carpet would go, snap that girl, ooh, dodge her. Snap that girl, oh, she's here, oh, let's pretend she didn't attend. And I just got avoided by every photographer and I was like,
Well,
I've
look,
never felt so ugly.
It was, it's packed, like, it's to celebrate, obviously, the F1 kicking off Grand Prix this weekend. I felt bad for the
Was
guys.
it? Because there wasn't anything to do with, like, there was no one
There was a
talking about
car
the
there.
event. There was a car when you walked in, that's all there was.
They had the car so round the corner that no one even could get
There was actually people in like high vis like trying to actually build the track in 48 hours. Like, oh my god, we got that, like one of the biggest events in the world happening.
It was-
and then there was people taking Instagram photos
It
everywhere.
was just a bunch of people who were so self-involved,
Yeah.
and it was all so schmarmy, and everyone thought they were awesome. It was gross.
Just for the record, I was enjoying the beers and prawns they had there, and I'm happy to go again next year.
Champagne, beautiful. Free food, great. If you are watching the current season of You, or the latest season of
Yes.
You, it's all about they kill off the rich.
Yeah.
My first thought being at that event last night was, wow, if they poison the drinks here, you could just kill off half the rich people in Melbourne.
Well, look, there were, it was full of like a lot of people as well that you know from somewhere. You're looking at them like, who is that? Like there was one guy I was looking at, and I'm that's one of those brothers that they do the commentary reenactments on TikTok.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, did I go to school with him or something? And I was like, that's the sassy brother from TikTok. You know how there's those two
Love
brothers.
him. Yeah.
And he would like put like a toilet brush in his dishwasher.
Is it
or
Michael?
something.
Is it Michael?
He's like, Michael, have you? And they just.
I'm serious.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
fire
that
up at
guy.
each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
there.
He's funny.
Bell's not on TikTok, so she's looking at me with a blank face.
I just looked around the room and I was like, I couldn't
You-
tell you one person.
You know who I saw that I got very excited for?
Yeah.
I saw one half of the Inspired Unemployed Boys. Their videos on socials, they go absolutely crazy.
Women were just throwing themselves.
Absolutely.
Those guys. I mean, this must be so easy for them.
Absolutely. And I only saw one half, and I believe it was the shorter of the two. Was
Matt.
that Matt? I believe I saw Matt. And we've crossed paths with him a couple of times before, and I went over and said hello, introduced myself again, and he was like chopping it up. He was loving it. And then after about 5 minutes, I thought, this is going great. And then he said, so is Ben here tonight as well?
Awesome.
No.
Awesome.
Oh, no, Ben. I'm so sorry.
I was like, that's me.
Yeah, what?
That
Hang
is
on, hang
I.
on, hang on,
Liam's
hang
the
on.
other one.
Did you?
He's the guy in the corner eating all those prawns, not
You
talking to
didn't-
anyone.
Like, you didn't walk up and say, "Hey, Ben from Nova."
Well, that's the thing. So, because
Yeah.
Belle, like, I noticed you in the corner talking to Thanasi Kokonakis. And
Yeah,
I
now,
thought,
that was a good
that's
attendee.
pretty cool. And then I must admit, I since you'd opened it, I was like, sweet, I'm going to go and talk to Thanasi about Adelaide and stuff and have a bit of a chat. And then after you're like, did you introduce yourself? And I'm like, no, of course not. He doesn't care about who I am.
It's not
He's
a matter
Thanasi
of-
Kokonakis.
Yeah, but it's not a matter of if he cares. It's the polite thing to do. I walk up and say, "Hey, my name's Belle. I work at Nova 100 here in Melbourne." Start conversation so that he can go, "Oh yeah," instead of just being like, he might think, "Oh shit, do I know this guy? Am I supposed to
Yeah,
know him?"
I
You
don't
have
think
to
he
introduce yourself, then you commence conversation.
A lot of footy players. The great Josh Dacos, who comes on the show, he was there. Sam Newman. It's kind of an experience seeing that guy in real life. I did lock eyes with Beck Judd, who he wrote a parody song about last week about her fighting crime in Brighton, and like I'm like pretty sure she has no idea who I am, but I was like, a part of me was like, I wonder if she heard that.
I wonder if she heard this.
Big Judd, Big Judd, Big Judd, Big Judd. Cleaning up Brighton. Big Judd, Big Judd.
I'm like, did someone send that to her maybe? Anyway, big ups to YSG Taylors in Richmond as well for dressing me.
No, you don't get to.
I had to say
You
that.
don't get to use this space
No,
to
I
plug
do.
your
No,
free suit.
I did get it. I got a high suit. But you know what the thing is
Who
though,
have
because
you become?
everyone was like wearing all this nice stuff, and I literally I'm like, oh, all I've got is Tarakas shirt. So I'm like, last minute, I was like, I really need a high suit, and they helped me out, but it was awkward because at the end of the night, like, I took my jacket off because it was cold, and I was like, oh, Sarah, did you need my jacket? And then I put it back on, and I was like walking around for ages, and then this influencer came over to me, and it's like this is like death in the influencer world, which is like, your tag's showing, and I was like, damn it, my big cardboard tag from my hire suit that I didn't pay for was flopping around behind me all night. I got a mouthful of prawns. Psst, just Ben and Liam at the moment. Come a little closer to the radio.
Yeah, Belle is in the bathroom doing a number deuce.
So if you didn't know, she's a massive fan of Hamish and Andy, growing up. Bit of a freak.
Yep.
Had like a shrine in her childhood bedroom. We took Andy Lee through there at the start of the week. You can see all the footage on the Ben, Liam and Belle Instagram and TikTok.
And I thought we were done with this. We talked about it a lot. I thought
Yeah.
it was covered ground.
Yep, because we spoke to Andy Lee as
Yeah.
well, but we've managed to line up Hamish Blake as well. So he's going to be joining us after 8 o'clock this morning, just so we can kick the boot in and get a little bit more juice out of this one.
It's going to be round 2.
Yeah. How cool. Waking up in Melbourne right now. You know who else is waking up right about now? Right here in Melbourne? Barack Obama. The former US president. You'd have to say the best one they've had, right? Like, Obama was a good one.
Like the most wholesome, the most probably head screwed on right. Doesn't need a,
Well-
and much assistance.
He's the hardest
I would
one
say.
to make jokes about.
And that's what I was going to say. I like Trump and Biden for the sake of radio content, so then we can make fun of them, whereas Obama was harder to make fun of.
Because he's good.
He did a speaking tour. He was at the John Cain Arena last night. Yeah, and you can see why. Like, I would feasibly pay for a ticket for Obama.
I disagree, Liam, because I think Obama's cool, but I'm like, why would I go see Obama live?
I mean, think of the stories that guy's has.
Is that what the show is, though? Is the show just him talking about,
I don't know.
White House gossip?
Well, that would be cool. But because you know what I mean? Like, but I also like when that guy speaks, I'm sort of like, yeah, I'm on board the whole time. Whereas, like, I wouldn't go to a George Bush speaking tour with his famous quote, "There's an old saying in Texas, fool me once, shame on. If you fool me, you can't fool me again."
I don't think it's so much. Well, I would say half the people are there for what he has to say. The other half are there to look at him and go, "There's Obama,"
There he is.
and that's it. The capacity of John Cain is 10,000 people.
Yep.
Which is incredible. 10,000
Yeah,
people.
but surely he could do a Rod Laver if he wanted to, easily.
Do you
reckon?
think he...
Yes, but Kevin Hart was there last night, so...
But Kevin Hart's funny. Like, Kevin Hart's got a polished routine.
Do you reckon they're like broing down somewhere after? Like, they're both from America,
Yeah.
super famous. Do you reckon they're hanging out, having a dinner? Like, they're both in Melbourne. Kevin Hart knows Barack.
Yeah.
Barack would know Kevin. Are they at Loon this morning getting a croissant?
I wonder if Obama would be doing a bit of a multimedia presentation. Do you think it would be just him talking with a stool and like maybe he like has a cigarette every now and then?
What?
Like, he's doing a Chappelle set now.
Yeah. I just mean, do you think it's stripped back? Or do you think he's got multimedia? Like, is he
so.
throwing to interviews he's done?
I
presentation.
imagine him, clicking next slide, and it's a photo of him and Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg, a great leader.
I think I would love to see if he did a little book signing or something after. Like, sit at a little trestle table
No,
and just
'cause
go,
he's too
here we
famous.
go, line up.
And there's that thing with like American politicians as well. Like some of them actually have been killed in the past. So I think there's
true.
extra security.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily rubbing shoulders and mingling.
Look, us three weren't there, so we're just wondering out loud. But I would love if someone listening to the radio right now was actually there last night. Did you see Obama last night, 13/24/10? Give us a buzz right now because we'd love to pick your brain.
We'd love to pick your brain, but also if you've got any Obama wisdom, you can
Ooh.
pass
Yeah,
on
if
to
you,
us.
like, what was the crux of the show? Like, we
What did you
weren't
learn?
there to save everyone $200. Like, what was your main takeaway? 13/24/10. Glenn in Camberwell, you went to see Obama last night. Did you have good seats? Were you close to him?
I did. I was just behind the flat section, if you like, but had a pretty good view of the stage and could see him pretty clearly.
How cool was that? Was there security there? Like, Secret Service with earpieces in, roaming around the crowd?
There was a few of those. There was a lot of police motorbikes on the outside, and airport sort of style security on the way in. But once inside, it was actually was pretty good. You could move around freely.
Oh, wow. So, Glenn, what was the setup? Was it just him doing a stand-up talking set? Was it an interview? What was it?
Multimedia?
No, it was a sit-down interview. So Julie Bishop was in one seat and Obama was in the other, and it was a one-on-one interview.
And Jay Bish was doing the interview, or was she getting interviewed also?
No, she was doing the interview. So she was asking all those difficult political questions, and he was giving very long and extensive answers.
Oh, so it's
He's
see,
prompted.
I would have been a little annoyed if I'd paid for a ticket from Obama and it was all politics. I know he is a politician.
What did
but
you expect?
I was hoping to be like, there's a secret button. I wanted him to
You
be
were
like,
looking for a few secrets.
I
a bit of
wanted
stand-up, I think, everywhere.
secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted him saying like, the funniest encounter he had with a celebrity
Yeah.
coming into the Oval Office.
Yeah, if you
or-
bought the VIP package, he would have given you like one half of the nuclear codes.
yeah, just fun stuff like that.
How did Bishop get the gig as well? Like, choosing of that. I would have loved if he came here and the Aussie interviewing him was someone like, I don't know, like Hamish Blake interviewing him would be great.
Rove McManus, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the?
Glenn, was there, when you think about, because it's expensive for a ticket, it was like $200 a ticket, I think. Was there like a takeaway bit of wisdom that you can share us with this morning?
Look, there was, probably not on the funny side, but he's all about providing opportunity and dignity for all types of people, and I think that's something he's still rallying for today. So he understands there's different levels in society, but really wanted everyone to have access to the same opportunities no matter what your background was. So for me, I guess not the funny point you might be looking for, but definitely a takeaway.
Yeah,
on you, Glenn.
Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate that. Like, we got what we asked for this morning. We did want the crux of the whole show.
Yeah.
Would you go again if he were to do another tour?
Look, I would. I think there's a lot to take away from it, and I think you're probably right. If there was a different style of person interviewing, next time you get some different answers. But definitely held the crowd's attention for an hour and a half and spoke well and quite educated and very inspirational.
So next time we're going to like Obama the musical, and it's him leading a musicale.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Just doing something a little bit different. But yes, that does sound very, very interesting. I'm glad it was worth the 200.
Glenn, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Liam and Belle, my wife Sam is 5 months pregnant and she's really starting to get her belly. And to be honest, she's starting to get a little self-conscious about her body changing.
Oh, what?
She keeps kind of thinking that she's not sexy. And
Oh, come on.
she doesn't feel like she used to.
Don't
She's
be
growing a
ridiculous.
person.
She is growing a little tiny human inside her body.
I mean, I got a big belly, and it's just from kebabs on the weekend. That's something to be worried about.
So for the record, I love her body the way it is. It's an amazing thing, genuinely, to see the female body change during pregnancy. But I want her to feel sexy and I want her to feel good about her body. So I decided to buy her some maternity lingerie.
Right.
Wait,
okay.
what?
What?
So it's just
do you
it's
mean?
it's lingerie, that
lingerie,
you
but
feel sexy in.
But it allows for the big belly.
I mean,
But lingerie it's just a bottoms anyway. It would just fit.
No, well, there's the top, and then so the one that I got was the one was just like bottoms and top.
Yeah.
And then the other one's kind of like this nice kind of like lace that goes around the belly.
Oh,
Kind of like
okay.
shows
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the
yeah,
belly,
right.
and then
Oh,
another
that's
one where
nice.
it's like I don't even know what you call it, but it's like a half top, and it kind of opens up at the belly.
Yeah, yeah.
So I ordered a couple of different pieces a couple of days ago, and yesterday afternoon the package came, and we were both very excited. And I said, go try it on." And so she took the package into the bathroom and opened it up, and I heard her say, "Oh, Ben." And I thought, what have I done? Like, my instant thought was, have I got the wrong size?
Yeah.
right.
And she said, "This is Shein." And I said, "Oh, is that bad?" And she was like, "Yeah, they're the brand that are synonymous for using child labour."
Yeah. Yeah.
Got them child labour boys, did you?
Well,
yeah, right. That's
it's a rumor, that goes around.
Yeah, I think I
can't
probably
say that
I
it
probably
definitely
legally
is.
should say allegedly. I've done some Googling on it. Pretty damning
you know what
evidence.
really gives me the horn?
It's very
Child labour.
it's very cheap.
It was such a mood killer.
Oh God. Yeah,
And
that's
then-
hard. You think when you start thinking of sweatshops, you're really not in the mood.
Yeah, I
So
asked,
she
like-
was immediately off it. She was like, "Oh, Ben, this is Shein. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Child labour." And then she said, "Why did you buy this?" As in, like, why did I pick that brand? And I, in the moment, couldn't think of a lie, so I just had to be honest. And I said, "Oh, because it was the cheapest. It was the cheapest lingerie I could find." And then it started to make sense in my head. I was like, "Oh, child labour. That's why it was so cheap."
Yeah,
That's
checks
why I
out.
got it for $12 a piece.
Oh, what a man.
Give more to your mother to be.
So after 20 minutes, I talked her around. I said, "Well, look, we've already bought it.
Yeah.
The children have already worked hard on it.
Oh wow.
It might as well not go to waste."
Yeah.
So she put it on, and then when she walked out, I was like, "Oh my God, you monster, think of the children."
Ben, I want to play Australia's favourite newest game.
Is it cheating?
There is a girl who's gone a little bit viral on the talk. She was on a cruise ship and getting ready in her cabin with her friend. There was a live stream screen in the room that shows you what's going on the deck up at the top. She then was watching with her friend on that screen, her partner cheating.
Stop.
Wait.
That's the girl. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is not happening. Just put her hand on his arm. What are you looking at? What are they laughing?
Right. So you can hear that they're squealing, and there's the little squeal at the end, the biggest squeal at the end. So he puts his arm, what they're watching is that he's putting his arm around another girl up on the deck and kind of bringing her into him, just on the side, not like kissing, nothing like that.
Maybe he was giving her a quiet word of advice. I mean, you can't really tell on a live cam. You know, maybe he's putting his arm around and whispering in her ear, "You believe in yourself." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What if they'd met the previous day or something, and then she was having a fight with her boyfriend? He was like, "It's all good." So he's put his arm around her. These girls are squealing, watching it. She then later posted a TikTok saying, "Yeah, he cheated. This is how I caught him." Now,
I think it's cheating. I'll go on the record and say I think that's cheating.
he put his arm around
Yeah, I know,
her.
but like to be fair, like I'm not putting my arm around other girls.
Yeah.
You hug me all the time.
Yeah, but it's
like
that's
we know each
different.
other. I'm like greeting you.
Yeah.
If we were just sort of like having some drinks and I just put my arm around your shoulder and went,
I think
that would be a bit weird.
I think that putting your arm around another lady isn't cheating. That act in itself isn't cheating.
But you're warming up.
But I reckon he's leading up to cheating
gateway
events. Yeah, it's a gateway move. It's a gateway cheat.
That's it.
Right, so we're saying it is cheating.
It's definitely cheating.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So the arm goes around and he's like, hey, girl, like whispering in that ear, you know what I mean? And you know what's happening next. If it wasn't for that live cam, that guy would have gotten away with it.
Hey, girl, why don't we go over to the poop deck?
What?
You know what I mean?
Is that the bottom deck?
I think it's the back of the boat.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Where you
I wish it had a double meaning.
Yeah.
Oh!
It's quite good, actually. One of the all-time stitch-ups on Monday's show, Belle was outed as a huge fan of the Hamish and Andy radio show. Now, a lot of people like that show, of course, but you sort of took it to the next level, Belle, and your whole childhood room is basically like a shrine to them, a museum, if you will, covered with old memorabilia and posters. And we thought it would mortify you if we took Andy Lee through said room.
And it's fair to say he wasn't impressed.
Belle is going to die. Like she's actually going to die when she sees this video.
Yeah, and I'll never see her again, just for my own safety.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, you guys have been giving me crap all week about this. But you know what? I have zero shame.
You were basically crying on Monday, so you were pretty embarrassed then.
Yeah. I'm not ashamed of the whole thing, but I am embarrassed.
You're embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed when you bring Andy through, yeah.
If you would like to see the childhood bedroom for yourself, you can check it out on our socials. We also put some photos up of Belle's scrapbook. And since then, we've seen in the comments, like a lot of people have come out of the woodwork. People who used to use the website that you ran under the alias of Giggling Belle. Jessie joins us now, who had the realisation on Monday when she was listening that she used to be in contact with Belle. Run us through what happened, Jessie.
Yes, I was listening, and then I heard you mention her username, and I was like, that sounds very familiar. Unlocked a cool memory, and I went back through my archives, and I found all these like old messages and stuff, and I was like, what a small world.
So, what messages were you sharing with Giggling Belle?
Like who I wanted to meet from like the fandom, and she was one of them. So,
wow.
I remember that. Yeah. So so you guys don't understand. There's a whole world of in this fandom of like there was this. Do you remember Laura, Jessie? Like Laura was.
Yes.
She was like
cackling Laura.
Yeah.
Cackling Laura.
Yeah. So she ran one of the websites.
Okay, well, Jessie, so glad you could reunite with Giggling
Well,
Belle
lovely
this
to
morning.
speak to you again, Jessie.
Let's move to someone else now who's come out of the woodwork. Another one of the fangirls who remembers Giggling Belle from back in the day. Maddie, good morning.
Hello, Giggling Belle, Ben and Liam.
Maddie.
Hey, girl.
Hey, mate, what's up? Long
This is
time no
amazing.
speak. Wow, when was the last time we spoke? Years ago.
Years ago. This is unlocking so many cool memories.
You weren't really in a Twitter relationship with Giggling Belle. You were more of a pen pal. Is that right?
Yeah, so obviously we'd exchanged more than email addresses. We'd exchanged street addresses, which sounds so naive
Whoa.
Lot of
because
trust.
I was obviously like 11 at the time, and I could have been talking to a 45-year-old man.
You were we were like 15.
Giggling
and
Bob.
Yeah.
You had Twitter, you had Tumblr was the big one, and then we thought it would be fun to write letters and stuff.
So is it true, though, Maddie, that when you were communicating via letter, Belle would sign off with a certain name?
I can confirm there was a Belle Blake.
Yeah.
Belle
Went through that
Blake!
phase.
Oh, as in
Maddie, I hate you.
As in
Don't
Mrs.
bring that
Blake.
up. Yeah.
I've done so much more embarrassing things, girl, so it's so
Yeah.
fine. Own it. Own
I
it
can't
now.
remember who had Lee. Someone else took Lee. So, yeah, we
You signed off emails to other Hamish and Andy fans as Belle Blake.
Bro, like I said, you get so deep in
like
it.
you were
You
married.
get so deep in it.
to Hamish
It
Blake.
was bad. I think that was like when I was like 14, 15.
Belle,
I think.
That is so
awkward.
cringy.
It's so bad. It's honestly so bad. But then I got over that.
Oh, Belle would just be the worst thing in the world if Hamish Blake heard that.
Oh, here we go.
Like if
Don't
Hamish
be a
Blake was
dick.
just on hold.
Don't be a dick.
Imagine if Hamish Blake was on hold the whole time and he heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, Belle, he's on hold.
Do this to me.
Hamish Blake joining us next on Over 100.
No, he's not.
He literally
He
is.
is. Yeah, he's going to join us next, and we're going to unpack that with him.
What is the point of all this?
We said the worst thing in the world would be if Hamish Blake was on hold and he heard all of that.
Oh, wouldn't it?
And here he is, Hamish. Good morning.
My long lost sister.
Well, that's a good way of looking at it, Hamish. Yes, we're just siblings, hey?
I'm trying here to help you, Belle. I'm trying to get you out of very, very awkward legal mess.
Stop.
Hamish, I don't know if you saw, but on the Ben Lehman Bell Instagram, so we've gone through Bell's. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you can't miss it now. It's on 7 News. It's on news.com. Luscious.
I'm pretty sure the headline they ran with was Andy Lee makes girl cry.
Yeah.
What a rough headline.
Yeah. You didn't get a name check in the headline, that's for sure,
fine.
Belle. But there was some photos from Belle's scrapbook over the years, and there's probably I don't know, 10 photos of her with you, in front of a Nando's at, Chadstone or whatever, just in different spots. Surely, I know you guys had a lot of fans of the show, but surely you were starting to recognise this, freak girl who was at the front of every line, right?
If it was at Nando's, I think there'd be... I was probably distracted. So no offense, Belle. I probably was chip. But then, away from Nando's. Look, we did. I mean, yep. I mean, I don't know if our bedrooms are reverse shrines, but that was always lovely to meet a fan.
Look, I will say, and we have been saying this. Well, I've been saying it all week. This was circa 2006 to 2011. I was, 12 till about 18. You guys did a lot of signings at Chatty for CDs and various DVDs.
We were available. Yeah, we were pretty
It's not like I came down to your house and hung outside.
Yeah, but it's to the level...
I mean, that we know of. I only went into one room.
Yeah. We...
There could have been... He didn't check under the house. He didn't see if he didn't pull down on any lamps to see if the wall rotated around to see the real stuff.
I feel like there is still a slight uncomfortability around this whole, you know what I mean?
I'm still
you're
getting
being
sweaty
I
palms.
know.
Belle,
I still idolise you guys.
Okay, so what you need to do is you need to pivot the conversation. Talk about Lego Masters.
Sorry.
Pivot, Belle.
Pivot, Lego Masters. How about that, hey?
God, so you're still across the old career, huh?
Every year there's a twist for the brickheads, and this season of Lego Masters is bringing back the best competitors, champions from previous years. So is this one kind of like the World Cup of Lego?
No, I mean, don't worry, we'll stretch it out to the World Cup, but not yet. No, this is the first step you take in TV format stretch out. But you don't overstretch. You don't do your stretching at once. This is so Grand Masters is this season. It is pretty epic, and I would happily admit if it wasn't, but it really is. I was by far of any Lego Masters. This was me just walking around, just with high eyebrows most of the time, going, "This is great."
Well, if you want to see Hamish's eyebrows nice and high, make sure you tune in the new
So
season.
you want guys eyebrow altitude. That is what everyone's going to be talking about.
It is sky high. The new season of Lego Masters starts April 10 on 9 and 9 now.
Thanks, Hamish. You have a good day, mate.
Bye, Belle Blake.
Got him. Over in the USA, Joe Biden, the US president and walking corpse, has been outed on a live mic, which means, it was on, there was cameras rolling, and we now know what his life is like behind the scenes. Normally, you're only seeing the speeches, you're only seeing him shaking their hands. But it turns out, Ben and Belle, that Biden has a minder. Obviously, the president is going to have, people helping him out.
Heaps of
going to have
security, yeah.
security and that sort of stuff. But this minder is literally telling him where to walk, and it's I would say less minder, more carer.
Liam, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's so old and ancient that I feel like he needs to be told exactly what to do all the time.
He's 80.
Otherwise, he's 80 years old. It's crazy.
That's my grandparents didn't make that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's sad.
And he's running the country.
Yeah.
Age is just a number, Ben.
Well, have you seen that video of him on a bike and he like stops and he can't get his legs out quick enough and he just pulls to the side? I'm like, oh my God, how's that guy's hips still working? Have a listen here. So this is Joe Biden. He's about to go and meet some people, and his mind is just behind him, whispering in his ear, explaining every step he needs to take.
Down here? Yes, sir. Down the ramp. And we have people lined up on the left over here. Some union leaders and workers.
Hey, guys and ladies.
Your mark is going to be the blue one to the left.
How y'all doing?
You got a blue mark, and that's okay.
I'll stay in my blue mark, and then I'm going to say hello to each one of you.
Yes, sir. I'll help you get started.
He's so dumb. The minder has said, you're going to stand on your blue mark. And then he's going, I'm going to stand on my blue mark.
All right, so that audio, yes, it sounds funny, but that would be happening at every single leadership, like being escorted anywhere, like any leader or anyone being taken, and they would go, all right, now walk down this way.
No, but
so that he looks like he's completely on top of it. He knows what he's doing. In reality,
should he not be completely on top of it and know what he's doing?
Like, surely he knows he's going to walk over and shake some hands. I
Surely he knows he's going to
like the guy needs to tell him whose hands he's shaking.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure he can work out that the people are down the ramp, so he needs to walk down there to get. Like, it feels like that guy is like with him in the morning, like explaining.
So you're going to go to the toilet first.
Okay, sir, you got to chew your food now. What you're going to do is bring that jaw up and down. I mean,
what a job, though, really.
Obviously not. I'm joking. Obviously, Joe Biden doesn't chew his own food. The minder would be doing that for him and feeding him like a baby bird.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.